Hello students, in this video we will learn about congruent triangles. Okay. To begin with, we need to first know what do you mean by congruent. Congruent means same, okay, and congruent triangle means same triangles. Triangles which have got the same shape and those which have got the same size. So two things need to be fulfilled for two triangles to be called as congruent. First is they need to have the same shape and they need to have the same size. Let's take few examples to actually understand what do we mean by congruent triangles. Let's take an example. We have this triangle and we have another triangle. Okay, now these two shape wise they are the same. Okay, we mark this as A, B, C and X, Y and Z. Okay, this is Y, and we'll mark the sides 3, 4, 5 and here also 3, 4 and 5. So these two can be said as congruent triangles because if we have a look, then their corresponding sides are equal. Okay, what do we mean by corresponding sides? So if we take this triangle as triangle ABC and triangle XYZ, the corresponding sides of the two triangles would be AB will correspond to XY. When it says correspond, it means on the same side, or it means that we are looking at almost the same triangle if we superimpose. That means if we say, suppose we take this triangle and if we place it on this triangle, okay, then this side will correspond to this side and this side, that is XZ, will correspond with AC. So if you have a look over here, AB should correspond with XY and BC should correspond with YZ over here, and if you look at AC, it should correspond with XZ. So AC will correspond with XZ. This is if we put this triangle on this particular triangle. Now when we put this triangle on this triangle, if the shape is the same, if this triangle covers this triangle perfectly, that means these two triangles should be congruent. In saying that they are not only of the same shape, but their lengths are equal. The lengths of their corresponding sides of these two triangles are equal. So AB will be equal to XY and BC will be equal to YZ. Similarly, we will have AC equal to XZ, and note that these sides which are equal are actually corresponding sides. So it is important to note in a congruent triangle or in congruent triangle, the triangles need to have same shape and also need to have the same size. Okay, sometimes we will also see that two triangles will look same but they don't have the same size. Like if I draw the same triangles, but if I mark them differently, like we have A, B, C and X, Y, Z, but let's say AB is 3, 4, 3 and BC is 4 and AC is 5, but XY is not 3 but 2 and BC is 4 and AC is say 6, then these are not congruent triangles. But having said that, is it really necessary that all three sides, corresponding sides of these two triangles have to be equal for the two triangles to be congruent? No, not necessary. Also, another point to note is that in congruent triangles, the angles will be equal. That means the corresponding angles will be equal. For example, in this case, if we take angle A as, let's say, 30 degrees, angle B as say 60 degrees and angle C as 90 degrees, then for XYZ to be triangle XYZ to be congruent to triangle ABC, also they need to be equal. The corresponding angles need to be equal. But one needs to note, it is not enough for the angles to be equal. Okay, so what I'm trying to say over here, let's take two triangles. Okay, now both are of same shape. Okay, we are not looking at their sides, they look of the same shape, and their angles, let's say we'll take the same angles, 30, 60 and 90. So like this is A, B and C, and this is X, Y and Z, and this is also 30 and 60 and 90 degrees. Now the corresponding angles, that is, when we say corresponding angles, we are referring to that angle A corresponds to angle X, angle B corresponds to angle Y, and angle C corresponds to angle Z. Now in this case, angle A is equal to angle X, angle B is equal to angle Y, and angle C is equal to angle Z. Though the three angles, corresponding angles of these two triangles are equal, they are not congruent. But why not? They are equal, right? So they should be congruent? No. They are not congruent for the simple reason is their sizes vary. You have a look at this triangle. Doesn't it look big? They are both of the same shape, no doubt about it, and their corresponding angles are equal, but their sizes are different. Okay, if I put a measurement, let's say put this as 3, 4 and 5, and this as 6, 8 and maybe 10. Okay, clearly if you have a look, okay, they are not equal to each other. Okay, I'll put this as some, let's say 7, just to avoid any confusion. 6, 7, 10, the lengths are different, so the length also has to be equal. Okay, it is important that the lengths are equal more than the angles. Okay, but there are also certain criteria that we need to follow, okay, in order to prove. So there are ways to find if two triangles are congruent, and we use certain theorems and axioms in order to prove two triangles congruent. We'll see what they are. Okay, there are 5 of them, and we'll go through each one of them one by one. First, let's list down which are the 5 ways in which we can find if two triangles are congruent. So we begin with the first one, and we'll list down first all of them, and then we'll go through individually. First one is known as SSS, or we rather call it side, side, side. Okay, this is a congruence rule. Okay, these are all congruence rules. Next one, after SSS or triple S, we have SAS, which is called side, angle, side. The third one is ASA, or angle, side, angle. Then our fourth way is AAS, or angle, angle, side. And finally we have the fifth one, which is RHS, which is right angle, hypotenuse and side. So these are the 5 which we usually call as congruence rules, okay, or axioms that we use in order to prove two triangles as congruent. Let's go to the first one, that is side 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 congruence rule. In a side 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 congruence rule, the corresponding sides of two triangles, this is two triangles, that's A, B, C, and then draw another triangle here. X, Y, Z. Okay. Now the corresponding sides, which are the corresponding sides? First, the corresponding sides are AB corresponds with XY. So AB should be equal to XY. So if we say this is 3, this also needs to be 3. BC, which corresponds with YZ, should be equal to YZ, which means that if this is 4, this also needs to be 4. And AC corresponds to XZ, so AC should be equal to XZ. So if AC is 5, then XZ should also be 5. So this is our side 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 congruence rule, which means that if we find there are two triangles and in those two triangles the corresponding sides are equal to each other, we can say that these two triangles are congruent. And when we say congruent, if we say triangle ABC is congruent to this, so this is how we show congruency. This is the symbol of congruency. This particular thing is a symbol of congruency, equal to with a sliding S, and congruent to triangle XYZ. Got it? So these two triangles are congruent by SSS. So this is SSS. Fine. Let's go to the next one. The next congruence rule, or rather an axiom. What is an axiom? An axiom is a universally accepted truth. It's something that cannot be proved but is accepted as being correct. So this is known as an axiom. AXIOM. What does this axiom say or mean? Okay, let's say we have two triangles. Okay, A, B and C, and the other triangle would be X, Y and Z. Okay, now in an SAS axiom, what happens is there are two sides and an included angle that is equal to the corresponding two sides and an included angle of the other triangle. For example, over here, let's say this is 7, 8, and say this is 11. Okay, and this is 7, 8 and say 12, but the angle over here is say 56 degrees and this is also 56 degrees. So it doesn't quite matter what the third corresponding side, that is AC, is obviously not equal to XZ, but we don't really bother about it. So we can erase this part. In an SAS axiom, all that is needed is two adjacent sides of one triangle should be equal to two adjacent sides of the other triangle, and the included angle, that is the angle formed by those two sides, that is angle B in this case, should be equal to the corresponding angle which is an included angle. When we say included, the reason why we say is because it is formed between two sides that are in question. So over here AB is equal, I'll mark this way. AB is equal to XY and BC is equal to YZ. Mark this with a double slash. And angle, I'll rather put it this way so that becomes easier. AB angle B is equal to angle Y and BC is equal to YZ. So this is side for you. Let me put it this way. Side, angle, side. Okay. So over here, side, angle, side. Side, angle, side. Fine. This is how an SAS axiom looks like, and using the SAS axiom we can say that the two triangles are congruent. What if we have these two sides equal and these two sides equal, but angle C is equal to angle Z? Can we use the SAS axiom? No, we cannot use. Okay, because as per the SAS axiom, it has to be side, angle, side. Here it says side, side, angle, or angle, side, side, and we don't have such congruence rule at all. So though we have two corresponding sides equal and one corresponding angle also equal between these two triangles, we cannot prove that these two triangles, or we cannot say that these two triangles are congruent. But in place of AB and XY, if we had AC equal to XZ with the remaining angles and lengths or other length as equal, then we could have said, because then it would have become side, angle, side, side, angle, side. You got it? We need to have side, angle, side. It has to be in that fashion. It can be anywhere on the triangle. It can be side, angle, side, side, angle, side, or side, angle, side. But you can't have two adjacent sides and one angle somewhere else. Okay, then it is not possible under SAS axiom. Our next congruence rule is ASA, or angle side angle congruence rule. Okay, now in angle side angle, we need to have two angles this way, corresponding angles equal to each other. So I'll mark this differently, and an included side. Okay, that means the side in this case has to be between two consecutive angles or two neighboring angles. Got it? So it is, if in this case it is angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle. So put it down, angle A should be equal to angle X, then AB equal to XY. These are corresponding angles, these are corresponding sides, and we have another corresponding angle, that is angle B equal to angle Y. So this fulfills your ASA congruence rule. Fine. Now this can be any side of the triangle. It can be angle side angle or angle side angle. Okay, but what if we had these two angles but we didn't have this side? Let's say we had this, we have two sides which are two corresponding sides which are equal, but not AB equal to XY, but AC equal to XZ, then in such a case we cannot apply the ASA congruence rule. Why we cannot apply the ASA congruence rule? Because as per ASA congruence rule, the side should be included between two angles. Here the two angles are there, but the side that should come in between the two angles is not equal to the corresponding side of the other triangle. Rather, there is another side but is not included between the two angles that is equal to the corresponding side of the other triangle. So we cannot use the ASA rule in this case. The fourth way to prove two triangles as congruent is AAS, or angle side congruence rule. In this case, you need to have two angles, congruent angles, which are side by side or adjacent or neighboring angles, that are equal to the corresponding neighboring angles of the other triangle. Like for example, we have ABC and XYZ, and if angle A is equal to angle X, then angle B should be equal to angle Y, and BC should be equal to YZ. Or in other words, also the other possibility is that apart from BC equal to this BC equal to YZ, we can also have AC equal to XZ. In both the cases, we will have AAS or AAS if BC is equal to YZ. So in this case, we will take it as angle A equal to angle X and angle B is equal to angle Y, and AC is equal to the corresponding side, that is XZ. So we have AAS, okay, AAS, that is angle side. Now this side can change from here to even here, right? So it can also be angle A equal to angle X, angle B equal to angle Y, and not angle side, rather BC equal to YZ. In both cases it will be angle side. Now this should be the neighboring angles, and the side should be on any one of the sides of these two neighboring angles. The point to remember here is that we need to have two triangles where we know two angles and the non-included side are equal. If two angles and the non-included side of one triangle are equal to the corresponding angles and side of another triangle, the triangles are said to be congruent. The last way to find out if two triangles are congruent is the RHS congruence rule. RHS stands for right angle, hypotenuse, side, and this RHS applies only for right angle triangles, only for right angle triangles. So here we need two triangles to be right angle. So there has to be a right angle in the two triangles. So take two triangles and both are right angled. We have X, Y, Z, and ABC is right angled at B, and XYZ is right angled at Y. So in this case, we have gone through this in the previous video where we spoke about hypotenuse and Pythagoras theorem. So in a right angle triangle, if this is where the angle is formed, okay, then the angle opposite to the right angle, sorry, the side opposite to the right angle is your longer side, and it is also called, it has a special name, is called as the hypotenuse. Okay, it is called as a hypotenuse. Now, for this particular rule to be used in order to prove the two triangles are congruent, there are three things required. First, we need that the two triangles need to have 90 degrees. At least one angle should be 90 degrees, and the corresponding angle should be 90 degrees. So we have that. So angle B, I'll put it in red, angle B is equal to angle Y, both are 90 degrees. So that fulfills our right angle. Next, if we have a right angle, that means we will surely have the hypotenuse, and the hypotenuse is always the side that is opposite to the right angle. So if angle B corresponds to angle Y and both of them are 90 degrees, that means the corresponding hypotenuses also should be equal. So we have a AC, and we put hypotenuse over here too. So these two corresponding hypotenuses are also equal, mark them this way. So AC is equal to XZ, and we need to have a side equal. That side should be any adjacent side adjacent to the right angle apart from the hypotenuse. So it can be either AB or BC. What I'm trying to say is either AB should be equal to XY or BC should be equal to YZ. It doesn't matter, any one side is more than enough to go with this RHS congruence rule. So we'll go with AB corresponding with XY. We'll take this AB equal to XY. AB equal to XY. Rewrite this thing in red. So AC equal to XZ and AB equal to XY. So we have R standing for right angle, these two. Then we have H standing for hypotenuse, these two. And we have a side standing for these two sides. So we have R, H, S. Important thing is we can only use, remember, we can only use this particular congruence rule if and only if we have two right angle triangles. When we have two right angle triangles, we can use this, and we need to include the hypotenuse. So please do not look to take these two sides equal or look to prove RH or look to prove two triangles equal using these two sides. What I'm trying to say is, do not go and do something like this. Let's say angle B is equal to angle Y, which is correct, but you take AB equal to XY and BC equal to YZ. You will say we've got right angle and we've got two sides. No, not any two sides. See, this is wrong because this is right angle, fine. This is a side, this is a side. We need H, which is a hypotenuse, and neither AB nor BC or XY or YZ are hypotenuses of their respective triangles. Okay, we need to have a hypotenuse, and hypotenuse is the side which is opposite to the right angle. We need to include AC and XZ or any hypotenuse for respective triangles. Got it? With this we complete the 5 ways in which we can prove two triangles congruent. If you have liked the video, please click the like button, share it with your friends and classmates. Do not forget to click on the bell icon to be notified whenever new video is posted, and also subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.